Hello, and welcome to What the Wrestling, a show where I take a look at the various wrestling companies and just pretty much talk about the things that confused or enraged me. I'm actually going to start this time with Impact, as Impact Wrestling really has only one thing that wound up on my list. During January, Ethan Page had seemingly been starting to go insane and slip into another personality known as the Karate Man. Poor Ethan seemed to have a psychotic breakdown and decided to finally confront the Karate Man. And so, at the Impact pay-per-view Hard to Kill, Ethan Page decided to have a fight to the death with the Karate Man. So, Impact's idea of writing Ethan Page out of the company was for him to fight himself to the death, even ripping his own heart out of his chest and looking at it and going, oh, it was as silly as it was confusing and, yeah, definitely worthy of this list. Moving on to AEW, the Inner Circle decided to have an official tag team match to determine who was the tag team of the Inner Circle. There seemed to be absolutely no point behind this other than crazy bragging rights, but it did lead to a few funny moments. Sammy Guevara and Jack Hagar, or the team Sammy Hagar. Ha ha, ha ha. The big problem with this match was, why? Does it matter? Are the other members of the Inner Circle unable to do anything with the tag team division anymore? Apparently no. Apparently this has really no actual impact whatsoever. Early on in AEW, in honor of his father, Brody Lee Jr. has been placed in the official position as the new leader of the Dark Order. The Dark Order, a group of big, tough wrestling men and women, are now at the whim of a 10-year-old child. And apparently it wasn't a cutesy thing for one memorial service. Brody Lee Jr. is actually leading them, as evidenced by looking at AEW Dark. They put Brody Lee Jr. on the commentary booth and basically have him talk about what the Dark Order is doing, what the Dark Order is planning, and basically just hype the Dark Order and insult Tony Schiavone. I don't know how to feel about it, but the concept of a child will lead them is just a tad bit silly. The company that led the charge here for the most confusing moments last month was WWE. And here we go. Starting early on in the month with Legends Night, where a whole bunch of returning superstars from the distance past or even just a few years ago just showed up, mostly just hung out. Really didn't have that much of an impact. There was a few moments, like Randy Orton bullying a rather sick and injured looking Mark Henry, that just was kind of sad, really. Legends Night also led into a storyline that is currently going on with Charlotte Flair and her father. Apparently, Rick's found a new squeeze in Lacey Evans and comes down to the ring during Charlotte's matches to basically be Ric Flair. And it seems like to sabotage his own daughter's matches in favor of helping Lacey Evans in one way or another. And if Lacey Evans plays her cards right, Charlotte Flair may be getting a new mommy. Oh, You know when we were going to find out that whether or not Randy Orton burned Alexa Bliss? Well, we did find out. We found out in Legends Night. We found out, just mentioned in passing. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't burn her. Okay. It would have been nice to have actually, seen you not burn her, but no, it's like, we're just gonna pass it off like it's nothing. The supernatural stuff continues with Alexa Bliss in her really bizarre and confusing playground. And Randy Orton at one point confronted her yet again. And instead of burning her, she somehow conjured a fireball and threw it in his face. The next week, we saw him in a strange, indiscriminate luchador mask to protect his burned face for a week, and it looked ridiculous. Legends Night also gave us Keith Lee's last appearance so far in WWE. As during a match against Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee accidentally broke the ropes, which I honestly think was a pretty good spot. Sure, it was an accident, but it looked great. And, but, no, they stopped the match to fix the ropes and just kept it going again. And then after the match, well, it looks like they put Keith Lee back in developmental, because we haven't seen him since. Over on SmackDown, it seems that the guy in charge, Adam Pearce, former wrestler, has been upsetting Roman Reigns. And to teach Adam Pearce a lesson about messing in Roman Reigns' business and disrespecting him or whatever, Reigns managed to get Adam Pearce into a gauntlet match where the winner would wind up challenging Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for his belt. And with some finagling, they got Pearce to actually win that match, forcing him in a match so Roman Reigns could straight out beat up and humiliate him. And he wanted it to be a last man standing match so he could deliver as much punishment as he wanted. Well, being a GM, knowing all about the contracts and being able to manipulate things, Adam Pearce threw a switcheroo in which he feigned an injury and it went like card subject to change. In the event of an injury, a superstar cannot make it to the match, and I can't because of my injured knee. A suitable replacement can be made, and he made the suitable replacement for Kevin Owens to take his place. As far as the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in general, it actually wasn't all that bad. I thought it was a pretty good event. Nothing really stood out as really all that dumb. The only thing I can think of, and that's because my nephew Christian insists I talk about it, was something that had never happened before. And that is, they used the 24/7 rules for the 24/7 belt, where it can be defended anywhere, anytime, to have R-Truth run into the middle of the Women's Royal Rumble match and get pinned in the ring by one of the ladies and have her be 24/7 champion in the middle of the Rumble match for about 2.5 minutes, until she was eliminated and then lost the belt. But it was an entertaining moment, and it was definitely something we've never seen before, but it was awesome. And that's how I'm going to end the episode. I'm going to end the episode on that something that was awesome. And we hope you have an awesome time as well. And this was What the Wrestling. And next time, I'll see you in the ring.